Hi everyone, welcome to I'm a Recruiter podcast. I'm your host, Rafla Deori. I'm a Recruiter is a community created by and for TA professionals. Our vision is to build a leading global community for TA professionals, and our mission is to help TA professionals grow from a traditional recruiter to a trusted talent advisor. If you find our content useful, please support us by liking, subscribing, sharing, and commenting on our channel. So, with this, we would like to welcome our very special guest, whose name is David Netto. David has almost like 10 plus years of experience in talent acquisition. David has worked with leading product startups and established product firms like ADP, Nelson. Currently at ADP India, David is not just an expert in TA, but also recognized as a public speaker and award-winning employer brand expert. He has been honored with accolades such as TA Leadership Excellence Award in 2024 and 23. David has made a mark as a brand ambassador across India and APAC, completing sessions at over 25 plus colleges, including prestigious institutes like IMCA, etc. He speaks passionately on the topics such as campus to corporate, continuous learning, the power of LinkedIn, grooming Gen Z for the future. So let's deep dive into the insightful conversation to learn from David's expertise in talent acquisition, employer branding, the journey of empowering the next generation. So with this, welcome David. We are really excited to have you here in our podcast and great to have you and to support and recruiter community. So thank you for your time. We are really excited to deep dive more.
Same here, Prafula, and good morning, everybody who's listening to this podcast. First of all, my deep gratitude and thanks to Prafula and also to I Am Recruiter. Honored to be part of this opportunity and live telecast. Hope it would be insightful with a lot of takeaways from this podcast and looking forward in an engaging conversation. So to start off with, my name is David Netto and I'm born from Thrissur, which is in Kerala. Brought up in Chennai. I did my schooling from St. Mary's and then I graduated from Madras University with BCom Corporate Secretaryship with Commerce and Accounting background. Later, I did my correspondence course in MCom in Banking and Insurance Management. And then later, I did my full-time master's in HR, that is MBA HR, from Dr. MGR University, which is in Chennai. So my schooling and my colleges is from Chennai. And I always aspire to be a finance professional because I have completed BCom in accounts, MCom in banking, and also MBA in finance, but I had an allied subject called HR. So way back in 2014, my journey started, especially into HR. But before 2014, I was always into finance, searching for jobs into the financial sector. And I used to write a lot of entrance exams for the IBPS selection, that is for the banking sector. I always wanted to be a manager, or maybe you can say a clerk, right, at a banking sector. So my aspirations were into banking, but the HR bug really caught me at a later stage, but at a good stage actually from the start of my career because I love talking to people. I like communicating with different sets of people and it gives me an opportunity to learn from them and what they do in life. And it's an inspiration actually to learn from many people, and advice is free, right? So as the ideas also. So this is how I look at life. And it all started with humble beginnings from a small startup company until today as I work in a company, in a global company like ADP. And I'm happy representing ADP in India and also Asia Pacific, not only from a talent perspective, but from a branding perspective, because branding is the key and it's free of marketing, especially when you bring in a lot of candidates, you brand the day for them and they become referrals actually, and they become brand ambassadors automatically for any company. And this is not only for ADP, this is a kind of a takeaway which I would love to give to the upcoming recruiters, especially the Gen Z and the Gen Alpha. Though we have, and the best part is we have a lot of tools today, and thanks to AI and the technology, and it depends like how far and how fast they can use them and you can adapt to them. So that's the best way they can leverage it. Yes, and talking about my journey, it all started in 2014, right? As I was searching for bank jobs. Then finally,
we'll just deep dive more. But before that, just wanted to understand a little bit about your background. So how were you as a person? How was your childhood, right? Were you a very studious kind of student or like was not very much comfortable with studies? How were you in general?
Okay, honestly, I was almost like a last bencher. I'm not in the ranking from 1 to 10. And to be honest, I was a very lazy person, to be very precise. And studies, yes, I used to get past marks actually. I'm not a guy for grades because I wanted to enjoy my school life. Though I had, my grandmother has the headmistress of the school. So there was a little bit of pampering there. So I can at least call it out. And that's the best memory which I could get, right? See, though you get good grades, but what if you don't enjoy your school life?
Yeah.
Doesn't become a memory. So I did a lot of good mischief at school. Even till today, I remember those days. And today's world, right? They all want to run back to school and college.
Yes, of course.
They would have.
You did your schooling in Kerala or in Chennai?
No, I was only born in Kerala, and I was
out of Kerala. You were born.
It is Thrissur actually. They would say it is the capital of Kerala.
Okay.
So
and what for the audience who doesn't know about Thrissur, what is popular over there in Thrissur?
They would always say that Puram festival, right, where you have all the elephants coming and you have some. It's a big brand festival which they have. Yeah, it's a Hindu festival. And when you say Thrissur Puram, everyone would know. They would post crackers and good food and a lot of gala time at that particular thing, at that particular event. And you would also have some schools and colleges having holidays at that point of time. So that is one of the biggest events in Kerala. And the best part, everyone knows it's God's own country and things are very natural there. When you talk about Ayurveda, it is like from Kerala. because everything comes natural there, and it's a very good place actually to settle down if people really like silence.
Yeah.
Because after 6, it's like very dark. It's a very traditional place,
Yeah.
though we have a lot of technology and all that. And later, I was in Chennai actually from till date, and I worked in Bangalore also. But thankfully, yeah, I work for a
So you
company.
have your roots still there in Kerala, or everyone shifted to Chennai?
People are there, like few of the relatives are there. Few usually there is a saying, right? Most of the Keralites are in Dubai. Whoever's in Kerala, they go to Dubai, they work, they come back, they buy their own land, and Keralites are all for gold
Yes.
because a lot of gold shops in Kerala you would find, and that's why you
And-
find all these gold jewelers, right?
Yes. So for you, like, how did you like your parents shifted to Chennai because of work, or how it is?
Yeah. So it's a beautiful story. And my dad is from Chennai and my mom is from Kerala. So everyone thought it's a love marriage. But
Okay.
it was a referral in the 89 and 88 actually
Oh.
from one of my dad's relative who married a Malayali actually from Kerala. And that was
Okay.
supposed to be my mom's other sister.
Okay.
So when my dad went for a function and then he was asking, I want a Malayali girl. Like, I don't want a girl from Chennai. So that lady at that point of time, and she gave a photo and saying, just see if you like this girl. And that was my mother. And from there, the story started actually. So my father had to wait for 2 years in order to get married to my mom. And then it all started in 89. They got
Interesting.
married. And 90, I was born. And from there, we came to Chennai. And it all
Okay.
started
Okay.
from there and still in Chennai. So been settled in Chennai.
And like, do you had any siblings, or you were
I'm
the
the
only
only
child?
son for the family.
Okay. So as a person, like, you were quiet, you were mischievous, or like you were like kind of very active. What kind of person is it?
When you talk about sports, I do love the street cricket actually, which I usually miss even today. You only have a lot of tough grounds, right? But
Yes.
nothing
Yes. Yes.
comes like playing in a ground, like especially with your area friends, your school friends, and everything.
Old days.
Yeah, exactly. And I do really miss the excursions, the picnic, right? That we wait for the end of the year to just go for that 1 day trip. And the arrangements, what your parents do at your small age, the way they pack everything for you, and to see their children going, it's a real joy, actually. I still today, I admire that the most. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes.
everyone
Totally
gets
agree.
afraid of the maths teacher, right? That's another.
Yeah. Can you tell some of the stories of your school days?
Okay. School days,
Any rough, any stories? Okay, like not the exact, but if you recall something, that's good enough. If you don't recall, that's fine. We can move ahead.
Okay. Actually, in my school days, I don't know whether my voice was good at that point of time, but they wanted me to sing. Hopefully, I had some certificates in singing, and
Okay.
I don't see that certificates now. I stopped singing later.
Okay.
Because it was a Christian school, actually, as I
Yes.
said, right?
Yes.
It's St. Mary's School in Chennai. So, though my grandmother was a hand, when I used to go to church, actually, so I used to sing in one of those catechism classes, they would sing. So, that I just put it into school, and I guess there was no competitors at that time. So,
Yeah.
I got some prizes for that. Only is the best I could recall.
Yes. I can relate one thing with you because I'm from Assam. Even Assam is very much in terms of like culture wise, naturally, it's almost the same. When I visited Kerala, I felt like I'm in Assam,
Yeah.
right? And even there, people sleep very early and all those things, and used to be not very populated like these big cities and all those things. Other thing, even I was not very good in studies and all during my school days. I was kind of just able to pass above average or average, you can say.
Yeah.
And even same like you, I was kind of a backbencher and all those things.
Good,
So
good,
I can relate this.
Thank you so much. Almost people relate. It's only the rank holders are with grades, reports, and whatever we study and whatever we do today, it is totally the opposite, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So
totally agree. Great. So now let's move a little bit ahead, right? So you did your MBA, BCom, then you did your MBA
Yeah.
in finance and all. So how did the journey started in HR, right? So post your MBA, did you search job in finance and it was not there? Then you thought of like looking for HR job.
Okay. So as I said, I started my study journey into finance actually. So I was predominantly working towards a finance job, but graciously I failed around almost 20 to 30 interviews. Trust me, in the year 2014, and everyone had a good campus start at that point of time. But I had very less campus placements from the college, and it's okay at that point of time. It's a life-changing event, right? What happened, and now it is a testimonial, and I'm happy to at least tell it. So after 20 interviews, actually, when I failed, then I was like thinking there is like something missing out of the search, or there's something there for me in the future to do something big. So what I did at one afternoon, I packed my bag with a lot of resumes to go for interviews, and then I went for 3 interviews at that particular day. But in between, it was lunchtime. There was little pocket money given by my parents. At that point of time, I guess it was like $100 in 2014. It was just for your petrol and for your lunch to just finish the day and come back home. And so when I went to have, I stopped by a juice spot or something, right? I was having juice, and I was like thinking, what is this? I already failed one interview, and I still got 2 more interviews to come at that particular day. And that time, it was all like consultancies calling you, right? And you have to go through a consultant. It's not like you can just go through LinkedIn or through a referral. And there was not much of the technology in 2013 and 2014. As I was having this, I was thinking like, what next? Then I just looked at a few buildings at the site, and there was something called as a consultant name actually. Okay, I don't want to name the consultant, so I just went there actually. I went on top. They said, have a seat, and what are you looking for? Again, I went and said, I want a finance job. So then that lady actually, she told me, David, okay, David, I understand you want a finance job and everything. Can you just talk and tell me about yourself? What do you like? How Prafula is asking me right now. Just tell me about your hobbies and just talk. Nothing about finance or something. Just talk for a minute or two. So I was talking to her, telling my likes, dislikes, my hobbies, what I'll be doing in my small age, and why did I choose MBA? What is my grades, and what is best I do, and something like that. Then she says, thank you so much, David. And David, you know what, David, I want to convey one thing. Definitely, with your communication skills, and you are an Anglo-Indian who's based out of Chennai and who knows English, trust me, you can try your hands on HR and you will become big one day. That was the word which didn't spark at that point of time, but later it was a testimonial what I'm giving till today. So, and the best part was after hearing that lady, I come back home and still apply for finance jobs. So never give a gratitude on finance. So because I was good in accounts, especially my schooling and also my college. So then what happened? I started redoing my resume into HR, changing the headline and showing more interest, keen interest on HR for recruitment. Then I started watching some YouTube videos like how the recruitment happens at a base function. So then I started applying and then I got into a company called ANI Systems in 2014 itself. And from there, it all started with recruitment. And 10 years have passed and now we are almost in the end of 2024. And thankfully, I've seen good, learnings from different companies. And I'm really thankful for many mentors in each and every company. I started out in the non-IT sector as a recruiter. And then I used to follow up more on technology. And I'm a gadget freak. I used to change a lot of phones, knowing about software, what does it do, and how easy can it make a life actually. So this was my very keen interest. And then I wanted to work in different cities actually, but I got an opportunity in Bangalore for a company called Agile, which is into augmented reality and virtual reality in 2018. And in the year 2018, there was not much of augmented reality and virtual reality, and you didn't have a lot of recruiters venturing into it because it is not only in the technology side, because it was a hardcore gaming industry also. And you get candidates only from Bangalore, Pune. For example, Pune, if I could say Ubisoft Studios. In Bangalore, I could name Zynga and also Rockstar Games. So, and it was a challenge at 2018. And why I would not forget this company in 2018 is at the final round, I had the interview with my CEO, who was from the US, and it was in Chennai. And his question was, David, this is a new venture for you. And how would you relate to this? And what is in there for you? I said, it is an opportunity for me to take up this role as a senior recruiter into a different domain. It's not technology. And the best part is from bringing candidates from other cities to Chennai to work to Chennai. I said, it's a good opportunity. If you give me an opportunity, I would really try my best and I will prove it with talent. Then I joined the company in 2018. And in 6 months, I got promoted into an assistant manager of talent acquisition.
Right.
So that was my commitment to the role and my commitment to learn.
Which company?
It is an augmented reality company. And now, at least, I'm proud to say I worked on this technology where you find very less recruiters even today from this technology. And one good thing about this domain is you would find even a college syllabus on augmented reality and virtual reality in today's base degree. Yeah, in curriculum. So that's really good. When I read that, I was like really happy.
Yes. So, a couple of questions I have for you is like when you started as a recruiter, what was your learning curve? Right, definitely, when we begin our career from the education background to HR, it was completely different. Like, how was your learning curve? What were the different challenges you have faced? And how did you cope up with those challenges?
I would say challenges to different learnings, new pathways of learnings. At that point of time, it was everything organic way. We didn't have the much needed tools. Though we had Naukri, it was a very premium brand to take at that point of time to get a single login. Even a single login is used by 2 to 3 partners at that point of time. And that was a challenge and it was a good learning also for me. And everything was headhunting. It's all about attracting active talents and also passive talents. Because we didn't, though we had LinkedIn, but we were not so much into LinkedIn, right? And not much active, or like how we have the premium versions nowadays. It was totally different at that point of time. And it gave me some learnings to find out talent from various websites. It's not only from Naukri.
Yes.
So that was the best learning which I took from a startup. And since it was the start of the career, I used to make a lot of calls daily. And that was a good pressure to take at that point of time. In the early stage of your career, you would really be motivated and you would have that charisma to get the candidates on time and to learn more. It was like really good. And that's why I think so what we're doing today, because we learned it the hard way and we learned it in a more organic style actually, with very less tools. And when you go into campus, right, we used to go with a lot of papers like for assignments and all that, right? For the test, for the aptitude test, right? Nowadays it's everything, it's online. It's so fascinated and more in a gamification way. Nowadays, but at that point of time, we used to visit colleges, and that also was a really good time to venture into all these roles and responsibilities. And I think so that made me more refined. So thinking that today, if we don't have LinkedIn and Naukri, suppose if LinkedIn and Naukri shuts down for just 2 days, how it would be, how a recruiter's life will be, and how we would start headhunting. So that is really a good challenge. I've always thought like that. What if LinkedIn shuts down for 1 day or Naukri shuts down for 1 day? Though it will hit the business, but how will the recruiters respond to it? So yeah.
So have you also faced into multiple different challenges like offer declines and like sometimes doing the same work might be boring as well, right? How did you motivate it yourself, David? Right? Definitely for the Gen Z, if they keep doing the same thing for them, so definitely they will run away. Right. So what advice you have for them?
Gen Z generation, we need to be a little more softer and the expectations are more for Gen Z and Gen Alpha. And as you said, right, offer declines. The challenges what I face, again, I would always say challenges to learning, and to learning that brings a good success. So the challenges is always with the stakeholders. You have tough stakeholders, then you have some stakeholders who are on the same page with you. And there are some stakeholders who will like you to win and get the role actually. So, and it's good to work with all different types of stakeholders because you learn from them not only about the tech stack, You learn what is their vision in developing a product of the company. And the best part is I always, when I receive a job description, right, as a role from a role standpoint, I do go to the stakeholders, I have a word with them, I sit in detail, I get the skill set, I understand why is this role needed and what kind of a talent do I attract from which industry actually. And from there, I would always start my work into talking to the candidates, screening resumes, and then going for the offers. Offer declines, the major reasons I receive is either its location, being Chennai, and it is for the compensation, and it's about few perks and benefits which the Gen Z or the other candidates look forward to. And what the best, I won't say it best actually, the comparisons are more actually from an offer standpoint. If they get an offer from an XYZ company, they try to get the same, what to say, they want more wellness and benefits from the other company, or they want the same location, they want a remote job. And even if it's a hybrid model, they want a 2 days working, they don't want a 3 days working. And these are the few cases or the comments or a feedback which I get from the candidates for the offer decline. And some candidates are really good. I'm talking about the Gen Z or the 90s kids also. Some look for a good product company, some look for a stabilized company which has job security, and some look for a work-life balance, which is a very important aspect today. And a company with work-life balance is really good company and which gives you a job security. That matters a lot. So it has a lot of elements, a lot of parameters towards it. And I think so people have started not only like what I say, applying for the big MNCs, people started even applying for mid-sized startups and new age startups, I would say. And thanks to social media like LinkedIn, podcast, and the other forums, right, where you have ample of space to learn more from a recruitment standpoint and also from a company standpoint. Information is like everywhere. It depends like how keen are you to learn it as soon as possible, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
with the help of AI, I think so they could really learn it in a better visualized way.
So other similar question I had is like, so every recruiter have a different mindset, right?
Yeah.
So for you, what kind of mindset a recruiter should have to become a successful?
Okay, I would say it in one word: being agile.
Sorry,
If
can
you
you repeat? Being agile. Yes, yes,
if
yes.
you be agile, you would really learn from every standpoint of recruitment. Is not only a job; it's a passionate job. It's
Yes.
all from the heart. Like whatever circumstances you go through on a Monday morning meeting, you should always be smiling. Whatever feedbacks you get or whatever offer declines, still you go with that same josh to start recruiting again and to get a best candidate. I think so. Being agile is always good. See, from as I said, right, from the past, from organic recruitment, then we came from a system approach recruitment, then we came to a pattern called strat recruitment. But now it is the agile way. If this is not the way, you would go to an alternative way to get the candidate on board. Being agile, learning from different forums, and no, it's not only about Naukri. It's not about LinkedIn. People are advertising in Instagram and in a lot of other forums that we are hiring and we need candidates for this XYZ company. And I'm one of them. I also publish anywhere where I get, even let it be WhatsApp or Instagram, because today candidates are not only on Naukri and LinkedIn. They're in various websites,
They are
various
everywhere.
forums and everything. See, even today's opportunity, I got it through WhatsApp, right? So I'm happy about it. And I follow it on LinkedIn also. And I'm happy when people follow many pages and when their keen interest lies, it's really beneficial for them.
So as a recruiter, right? So what are some of the tips and tricks you have for any candidate, right? So what are the things you look for a good resume?
Okay, a good resume, right? It's not only about the headline is really good when you read a resume, and the candidate I would prefer is the number of projects what he has done towards the years of experience. So for example, he's a Java developer, right? So when you the name says developer, so as a developer, what kind of projects he has done, what he has developed, and what is his portfolio. And there's a GitHub, right, website where it's a repository website where you can see what he has done, and you have a lot of portfolios in his resume where you can check the links and you can see what all work he has done towards his journey in Java. And the one mismatch what I see in today's candidates, everyone has their skills A to Z on a resume. But what is the hardest part is which skill are they experienced in and which skill they are certified in. There's a difference between you're certified and you're experienced.
Primary.
And when you apply for a job, the mandatory skills matter a lot. And those mandatory skills are what you're experienced at.
Yes.
Good to have is certifications.
Yeah.
That is always the key what I look from a resume. Yeah.
And what tips you have for someone to crack interviews? Like definitely everyone have a different style, but as a recruiter, as a first screening call, we recruiter generally do, right? So what tips you have? Like what kind of things a candidate or a person should share during the screening call with the recruiters?
During the screening call, okay. So when I have a screening call, right, I'll just give a heads up to the candidate that I'll call you in this point of time, and then I will set up a time to screen and have a detailing on the resume. So what I would expect from a candidate is, as I said, right, he has to tell me and explain me about his projects so that I will also understand, and I would talk about the skill set what he has mentioned in the resume, and from there I would have my screening questions, and I would ask him scenario-based questions, meaning now suppose a Java developer has 4 years of experience in his resume. I would really ask him in that 4 years, what is the scenario and challenge that you faced in your team or as a project? What is the study from it and how did you overcome it with a solution? So when you ask all this, right, that's the time you really grade a profile, whether he has really been experienced into that project and whether he has been an individual contributor or a team player, right? When there's a particular project, you have 2 to 3 members in a team or even more. But if somebody says he's an individual contributor, there where my concentration goes more higher actually. So that I would zero down that profile because he's an individual contributor. He has done everything from the scratch till the end of the project and everything. And the way he explains about that scenario with solutions, and that would really give me an idea of what he has done from an experience standpoint. Yeah.
Sure. Great. So now moving forward a little bit ahead. So what is the current roles and responsibilities you have currently in your organization?
Okay, in ADP. Okay. Thankful for ADP, actually. I would always call it a dual role. I am a senior talent acquisition business partner. I majorly hire for technology in ADP for a function called Lyric, which was previously called Live. Lifion means life is on. So that's a function, actually. And as I said, I'm hiring for technology. The roles which I hire for Java developer, application developer, product managers, and it is end-to-end recruitment from like writing down the JDs till offering the candidate. And post the offer, I would always take care of the welcome and celebrate of new joiners on their day one. And I am the brand ambassador for ADP, and I take care of the onboarding on their day one, make sure the candidate is really happy on their day one and answering their queries, and to get feedbacks, what can we make it more best for their day one, pre-onboarding and also post-onboarding. And all the joiners really post for a welcome pic on LinkedIn, and that's where I brand the new joiners pic on LinkedIn, and then it shows, right, the company's culture and the scope where we could take the branding level more higher and higher. So these are my responsibilities in my current role.
So you have also mentioned about like employer branding, right?
Yeah.
So recently we have done a panel discussion around candidate experience and employer branding, where we invited different leaders plus different recruiters plus HR from across different cities plus across different companies and domains and all to understand about candidate experience and employer branding. Since you are an employer branding expert, so can you also suggest few of the tips and tricks how to stand out? Because today's world, there is lots of competition within the organization as well to attract best talent, right? So what is some of the basic things as a recruiter, as a TA professional, you have to do to attract best talent?
Okay. So when I talk about employer branding, right, it's not only about branding it on LinkedIn. You can brand it even via mails also, right? See, when a candidate is approaching to his final level of discussion, you could share him some more insights about the company so that he would not have a generic insight. He would have a very specific insight about the company. So when we call out as employer branding, right, we should be very specific. Why does this candidate have to choose this company? And I would always say it's a product company, and we do have your job secured and your work-life balance. It's a hybrid model, and we are a visionary actually, and we are into generative AI. So all these points are very crucial for somebody to attract talent and to join the firm. And when you see candidates' preference, are everybody like they are engaging into AI, right? So the final question, if I ask the candidate, do you have any questions for me? Then they say, David, like how is your company approaching AI, and what is the practices that is moving towards AI? I said, yes, we are leveraging AI from the best, and definitely we would move into AI full-fledged, but depending on the governance, right, for the usage of AI, because everything needs a lot of security when it comes to AI, because we don't want a data leak because it's a payroll company, right, and governed by many policies. So it's good to leverage AI, and maybe in the years to come, we will be full throttle towards generative AI.
Yes. Yeah. So again, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
So I have one more question for you. Is like, as a recruiter, sometimes we can sense which candidate will be a good fit for this particular role, right? And we think that like definitely if he or she is the interview, definitely will crack the interview on like say compensation or say better company or whatever, right? So how do you react to it as a recruiter?
Okay. Yeah. See, it is a
First question is, do you think like a candidate can feel the or a recruiter can vibe the candidate when we talk to the candidates?
okay. You mean vibing after they decline the offer or
No,
something?
no. Before, when we saw a profile, we first of all, like in our mindset, hey, this is the profile we are talking about, right?
Yeah.
This is the right fit. And once we do the screening call, we get the 100% confirmation from our inside,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. I would always get a vibe that this should be the candidate. Why? Because the candidate would talk 50% to me, and I would really be convinced. But if he's going to talk more on the technical part, I may have less intervention into that because I'm not a techie person, right? Though I handle tech recruitment, but at least I could gauge him, or I can understand from his portfolio on what he has done towards the company and how he could be the right fit for this role. I would really get that vibe because definitely a recruiter will always know that vibe because he's day in and day out talking to different candidates.
Yes.
And then and there, I write down the points from one candidate to another. Then I ask him the same questions, and there would be different answers, right? The articulation would be really different and the scenarios will be different. So then I'll come to an aspect, okay, this is the guy we have to put for the level 2, or I'm sure this guy will really crack the interview. And offer declines is not a surprise anymore, I guess, to the recruiter. But in order to not have offer declines, it depends like how do you talk to the candidate on the screening level regards to the company and regards to the role actually. And as I said, right, Prafula, today, candidates don't look only for niche. They don't look only for location. They look for the growth of the company and what is the role growth for them and what kind of a wellness benefits, as I said, right, work-life balance. So these are the few points, major points which candidates are looking forward to. And candidates don't want a company declining in projects or putting them in bench, and something on a realistic note, not to take it in a negative way. So this is what is happening. And the candidate's perspective also has been changed in terms of choosing a company and choosing the right employer actually in these times. And thanks to COVID, because everything has changed post-COVID, the way of work anywhere, hybrid model, and how do we see a recruiter, and the interest levels are really exceeded actually.
Yes. So now moving to know a little bit more about David, right?
Okay.
So we have talked lots about almost 40 minutes about professional
Okay, that's
journey
40
and
minutes.
other
I
things.
can see it. Okay.
So what David loves to do when he's not working, right? So do you hang around with your friends? Like you have good friend circle, or you love doing things on your own? What kind of person David is?
Okay. What I want to do in the future is like survival cooking. I'm not even a starter in cooking, so I would really like to do that. I do download some videos at least to start cooking, but I'll make sure maybe I'll take it as an inspiration for 25 to start cooking. And David, as a person, now I'm generally a foodie. I love different kinds of food to taste, eat, and everything. Let it be, even I can admit, let it be even a junk food. Let it be a small chart item. I would really love to taste it. And this is something which I like. And health conscious, yes, I do have a good me time because to take care of my health and to have a good work-life balance, that is really important, not only for me, for everybody. And
Yes.
my advice is more organic, more better life. That would be my statement here. And I love driving, actually, driving the car, especially. So on my free time, I do this actually. Let it be a
Okay.
bike or a car. And I love music. So music is my key to, what to say, to reduce the stress levels,
Yes. Yes.
I would say. Yeah, these are my
So, which is your favorite music? Which is one song that whenever you feel stressed, you definitely go and listen to that particular music?
Okay, I would always love one song. It's called One Love, actually, and it's from the album called Blue. It's an English song, so I always listen to that song, and it's a peppy number. Maybe you can listen to it. There are a lot of songs actually, and it's not only about the hard music, right? You should at least relax and listen to music, good music. So
And
yes,
how do you relate to that particular music? Definitely, there should be some kind of relation between you and that particular song. How do you relate to that?
yeah,
Because for me, I listen to a couple of songs, right? One is Jiddi Dil from Mary Com, right?
okay, yeah, yeah,
There is one song, and I listen to have a couple of more similar
yeah.
motivational and inspiring song and all those things. Whenever I feel low, I go and definitely listen to those kind of songs.
Okay.
What resonate to you?
And the words matters to me actually, and few particular songs actually, so I listen to that constantly, and it's kind of a repeat mode. And even the regional languages, you have many songs in Tamil also, and a little bit of Hindi. And Hindi I know how to read and write, but I know to understand a little bit, but I don't know how to talk. It's like thoda
Yeah,
chance aata
yeah,
hai, thoda malum, it's like that. So yeah, that's one bad and not bad aspect. I need to learn and talk in Hindi soon.
yeah. And you have also told that you are a big foodie. In food, what you are vegetarian, non-vegetarian, what exactly?
100% non-vegetarian.
Any non-vegetarian, like which kind of non-veg food you would love?
Without a second
Beef,
thought,
pork,
I am a
fish.
hardcore biryani lover. So I taste a lot of chicken and beef, not pork actually, because few Christians don't eat pork due to some sentiments and all that stuff. But I tasted it. I won't say no. But anything for the love of chicken or grill or biryani, that's my
Muh pe
favorite.
pani.
Even seafoods, I really love it actually. More than the Chinese item, I love the Indian traditional items. Yeah.
Okay. And so, do you also cook something for yourself?
As I said, right, I'm very bad in cooking actually. So I didn't even learn survival cooking. So 2025, my only goal is to start cooking.
Okay. Okay.
And people from Kerala are the best cooks.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. I have a couple of very good friends who are from Kerala. So whenever we get time on weekend and all, we definitely go to their place and they to come to our place as well.
Yeah, Kerala is a
Okay.
land of beef and everything.
Yes. So moving to our next question, right? So you also mentioned that you started speaking as a public speaker. So how did you land it in public speaking
Okay.
from being a traditional recruiter to a public speaker? How was the transition and
Okay.
how did you find out time for yourself?
Oh, okay. And yes, this was way back in 2022 to 23, it all started. And when I was working in Nielsen IQ, so there was one day from my ex-manager who said, there is an event. Would somebody like to try and go for a panel discussion? And I guess my team members were busy, and even I also had my day in and day out work. So it was 2 days a pending request and everything. So then what I did, I said, okay, no one is going. Let me just give it a shot. In fact, I'm a very shy person. I don't talk so much to people, being a recruiter also, and almost an introvert, thinking like, okay, let them do what they want. I'll just be like this. It's like that.
I will be far away.
I
Kind
will
of.
really be far away. I will just look at the crowd. I'll clap hands for you. I'll cheer you up to the max. No problem. More positivity and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I gave my consent to join this panel discussion in Chennai, and it started there. So from there, slowly it started coming. What is it? The proposal started coming, especially for public speaking, to talk individually and also as a panel discussion. And I would like to thank one person here. One is my ex-manager who missed the opportunity because my ex-manager was to go for that opportunity, but since it was missed by him, I grabbed that opportunity, and I'm thankful to him, and I'm thankful for the person who gave me this opportunity as a public speaker. His name is Pandi. Actually, you would find him on LinkedIn. So till today, he cheers me up, and he's the only person who has motivated me in my tough times, and a lot of positivity and a lot of feedbacks. So when he used to give me like continuous feedback, right, that was the time I took this as a separate topic and I spoke in a college. Continuous feedback, continuous learning, continuous growth. So these are the major titles which I speak, because campus to corporate is a very generic series, like talking to the Gen Z and the Gen Alpha on grooming them to make them industry experts and industry ready. So from there, it all started from Nielsen IQ. And today I've spoken in almost like 25 plus colleges, you can say, from a small college till the IIM Kashipur. And I attract talent from rural areas in Tamil Nadu region. And I've been also associated with ICT Academy, who majorly gives me a lot of opportunities towards public speaking. And it's a very good journey being a public speaker. I do enjoy the journey because I learn from the Gen Z and the Gen Alpha, knowing what what is their aspirations in the future, what do they do in college, and how is technology treating them, and with AI and a lot of stuffs. And it's good to know their interests also, right? And it's really good. It's a good ride, and I really do take feedback from the call. How can I improvise myself to do even more better in the next sessions, actually? And it's a good journey, and I'm happy, and I'm thankful for all the mentors, and I'm thankful to my company called ADP. To mention one person I report to, his name is Prabhu, actually. So he would always give me the freedom to work. That's the best part in him. He would say, David, at the end of the day, you do what is good for the company in terms of branding, in terms of public speaking, and he gives me the freedom even to work day in and day out. So while recruitment being my bread and butter, public speaking being my passion.
Yes,
So
yes. So
that's
do
the
you
best
also
part.
feel in future that you will be a very popular public speaker figure, kind of?
Okay, while I started, I never had even a 0% idea. So, but now, since I'm an active person on LinkedIn, I think so most people know me now. And I'm thankful for people who are on LinkedIn who have done more public speaking than me. I would really learn from them, how they improvise and everything. There are few personalities who I personally love in the HR fraternity. They are leaders in bigger companies in Chennai. I would always sit and watch them speaking. And the best part is the opportunity not only to look at them, but an opportunity to sit with them and talk in the same panel discussion. So
Yes.
that was my growth journey. And
Yeah.
this will not be without all my mentors, the feedback givers. So without their help and support, right, I won't be refining myself day to day. Even if
Yes.
Prafula is going to give me a feedback after this session, right, I would definitely take it 200% from Prafula because Prafula is telling me wholeheartedly. So I would definitely take that. And as I said, right, I recollect the word called agile. If you're really agile in today's world, you would really grow.
Yes. Right. So let's say anyone who wanted to start their career in public speaking, right? What tips you would like to give to that person? Like, what are the things, basic things they have to follow so that they can become much more fluent, much more confident in terms of public speaking?
Okay. Public speaking is not only a chance, actually, it is an opportunity from your experience. And how are you going to transform that message into the young minds, right? So, more of positivity is needed and more self confidence. I would say if you don't believe that you can do it, you will not do it. And it's better for someone to try and say, yes, I have tried, I have failed. And in order to become a good public speaker, is to embrace more failures. Everyone does blunders, everyone does mistakes. But on the opposite side, if you say, it's a very positive note, like taking feedback, embracing failures, pushing hard every time, hustling more hard matters a lot. Even I have faced this when I used to talk on a stage. I said, right, I would not talk to a single person also. I would not shake hands. I'm an introvert. I'm a shy person. But today, you give me a crowd of 500, you give me a crowd of 900. I will stand alone and I'll rock the show. And my testimonials are everywhere on LinkedIn. So it
Sure.
all depends on the person and the personality.
And how did you groom your, like initially you mentioned that you were kind of a shy person, that you don't feel comfortable talking, or like you wanted to stay away of that to a public speaking person now?
Yeah.
How did you shift your mindset?
Yeah. This statement I could take from my grandmom. Thankful to her. She always tells me, talk to the mirror, know yourself, know your expression. That is a very important key point, I would say, as the best takeaway and a best memory from her. She says, talk to the mirror, prepare yourself before you go for anything. And after preparing, when you go for anything, when you come back, write down those points, the best, the worst. Take the worst and prepare more harder, actually.
Yeah.
Like they say, right? If it's 100 marks paper, you really need to learn more than 100 marks, then only you will come to 60 or 70. So it
Exactly.
is day by day pushing hard in order to groom yourself more, actually. And it really helped me when I used to speak to the mirror, right? It used to show my actions, how I'm relating to words, and how am I talking more better, actually, with refined words, not repeated words also. Yeah.
Yes, totally agree. Just to give one example, right? So as you mentioned that like being a recruiter, even I was not very comfortable talking in front of camera and all those things, right? Office meeting is something different.
Right.
We have to do, we were comfortable. But when we started this podcast, even I was not very confident enough to talk in front of camera or to talk to anyone, I would say. But one thing which I decided is like, first you have to convince yourself,
Exactly.
right, that you can do it, right? So when I convince myself that this is what I would love to do, then there is no looking back.
Exactly.
Some or the other way, you will try, you will fail. It's okay, right? People will judge, people will talk. Forget those things.
Yeah.
Right? You focus on yourself.
Yeah, exactly. That matters a lot. If you're going to see people, right? There should be people who talk about you, or what to say. People will discourage you. Like you have all sort of audience, and you must have all sort of audience. That molds you and makes you more better, and it refines you, transforms you to a better person. Actually, I have an example when somebody says, right, he's talking about me, or she's talking about me, and people at the back they're talking something different. I always say one thing, very simple thing, and it'll connect really good. If you're riding a bike or if you're driving a car, where do you look? You always look straight. Then only you look on the right and the left, right? Look straight. Let people right and left. Let them come. Let them do what they want. Move away from them. When a car comes to your extreme right or a bike comes, what do you move to the left? When it comes to the left, it's vice versa, right? But your destination is to move forward. Take that example. Simple.
Yes, nice example, David.
Yeah.
And is this your life motto as well? Like everyone have their own particular simple life motto in their life as well, right? So is this your life motto?
My life motto is we all have one life. Celebrate life, live it.
Nice, definitely. Many people doesn't realize that we have one life and we have to enjoy it. We have to like fulfill all our dreams. Many people take it for granted, I would say.
That is why. See, everyone has stress. Everyone has their own work styles. Everyone has their own issues. But what we can do today matters a lot, right? As they say, even 12 hours we have in a day. Some people think that 12 hours is not enough for many people, actually. But what I could say, celebrate your life, because even this life, many people don't have, right? What we have today.
Yeah, yeah. Great. So, David, we are almost on the time.
Super.
So, before we wind up, just wanted to take last one advice
Okay.
from you as a recruiter. So, why do you think to grow in their career or to grow as a person, they have to belong to a community or they have to be participating, attending different communities,
Yeah.
right? Or social or networking is important. Why do you think?
Okay. So as today's world, right, we need a lot of communities like this. We need to embrace this in a better way. And more than that, at least there are some good humans who are starting these communities, right? We should support them. And it is for a beautiful cause. They are bringing it to engage with different people and to bring them in one audience, I could say. And engaging in these community is like collection of ideas and what we can do best. And with the help of social media, I think so. This is a very good branding for any community and for anyone who can join and contribute. Contributing and supporting is really good. And they will not only help and support, but they will network a lot with different
Yes.
professionals actually. And this is the best platform ideally to do it free of cost, and they would have a lot of engagements and takeaways towards these communities. And I'm a part of few communities where I could contribute and give my best according to my work schedules, and I'm happy to be engaged in these communities. And that's how I got this opportunity to even talk on this podcast, right? So, and everything depends on that small interest level from every individual. Like take some time, join a community, see what help and support do they need, and that would really be helpful for them professionally and also personally, because work is work. And when you come to this, right, you see different set of people and you talk to them, and you can engage in different experiences and learnings. That's my takeaways from the communities.
So, with this, thank you, David. Thank you for your time. It was interesting and inspiring, I would say, a discussion we had, like from your journey, from being a become student to how you have transformed yourself to public speaker. Definitely, there is a huge change, and we have seen your journey throughout, right? Definitely, it's going to inspire and motivate lots of different people. So, thank you so much for your time, and looking forward for future more podcasts with
Sure.
you and the community members.
No problem. Thank you so much, Prafula, once again. And thanks to the audience. And looking forward for more sessions. And see you soon in Chennai. We'll have a
See you.
collaboration very soon and we'll make it more bigger. Okay. All the very best to you.